everybody. How you doing?
Good.
My name is Karen, and I am from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Is there anybody here from New Mexico? People from New Mexico? What part of New Mexico? Las Cruces, that's where I live. I love Las Cruces. Although it's kind of a small town, we only have 4 Starbucks. Can't believe it. They say the people from New Mexico have a certain glow about them. So if you see I have a certain glow, but don't believe it, it's only the nuclear fallout radiation. We have a lot of that in New Mexico. New Mexico certainly attracts its share of weird people coming through. I don't know if any of you saw this summer the guy, I believe it was an Austrian man, who went up 125,000 feet in a hot air balloon and then jumped. He did that in New Mexico. And the reason he chose New Mexico was because what we have more of in New Mexico than anything else is wide open spaces. So no danger of hitting anything, wide open spaces. And for those of you back east who live in crowded apartments, that's where all your closet space is. Wide open spaces. And he did it near Roswell. And I'm sure you've all heard of Roswell. Yeah, the alien space crash and alien autopsies, all that sort of stuff. That was in 1947. Allegedly, a spacecraft, an alien spacecraft, crashed outside of Roswell, New Mexico, on a farm where they raised alpacas. And the government came in, they cleaned everything up, and they hushed up the whole thing for years and years and years. And you couldn't find out any information. There were lots of rumors. But I did a little personal research on this, and I found out that it was in 1948, March of 1948, which was exactly 9 months after the crash on the alpaca farm. You know alpacas, those funny-looking animals, they kind of look like llamas. They're kind of fuzzy. Anyway, March of 1948, Donald Trump was born. And that's obviously the result of mating between an alien and an alpaca. Am I right? Am I right? I know, we haven't seen the birth certificate. I want to see the birth certificate. That's when I'm going to believe it. Yes. So I invite you all to come on down to New Mexico because people like to come there for our Mexican food. We're only 30 miles from the Mexican border where I live, so we have great tacos and wonderful Mexican restaurants. Tourists like to come and have Mexican food. But after you live there for a while, you begin to realize that every single restaurant begins with the words El or Los. So, we have Los Applebee's and El Olive Garden. We have Los Chang's Hunan Tamales, which is very good. So I'm thinking of opening my own concept restaurant, which will be Los Hebrews Nacionales. It's a Jewish deli, and we're going to be the home of the green chili matzo ball and the pastrami burrito. And I'm thinking about adding a Manischewitz margarita. If you think it will go over well, yes. And we're opening it up in the Desert Hills strip mall right next to El Saigon. But all that talk about food, it makes me miss my original hometown, which is Chicago, Illinois. From Chicago, yeah. So let me ask you this about Chicago, because I do miss Chicago. Are there any Cubs fans here? Well, I don't know if the rest of the country knows about the Chicago Cubs. Chicago Cubs have not won a World Series since 1908. And those of us who followed the Cubs for years and years, we're the long-suffering fans, and, we got the lovable losers and everything. And I decided, I used to be philosophical about it and say, hey, anybody can have a bad century. But I decided, some of you may have seen me around the ship wearing a Baltimore Orioles cap, because I am shopping for a new team. because here I've had it. This is a typical season for a Cubs fan. Opening day, April, the Cubs will lose. Second day, the Cubs will win. And we'll have great hope. Everyone's going, oh, hey, we're 500, wonderful. But that will be the last time we see 500 all season. In May, our star pitcher will trip over a sprinkler head in the outfield and be out for the whole season. In June, they will bring up the rookie phenom from AA ball way, way too soon, and he will set a new record for errors in one game. But he'll give really funny press interviews. So that's mildly entertaining. By July, the chant in the stands is "Go Cubs and take the Bears with you." Now by August, the Cubs are almost mathematically eliminated from contention, except for an algorithm which includes 5 tiebreaker scenarios and the death of the entire St. Louis Cardinals pitching staff. It's all got to happen. The stars have to align and everything. Then you get to September, and in September, it's easier to find a body in a car trunk on the south side than in Wrigley Field. So finally, October comes, and the Cubs are never in the World Series in October. So you're sitting there on the couch, you're strung out, you've broken into the Halloween candy, so you've got Snickers wrappers all over, and you're sitting there watching the player that the Cubs traded 2 years ago hit the winning home run for the expansion team that's only been in existence for 5 years. And they win the World Series. And you decide, that's enough, forget it, that's it. But then, of course, Thanksgiving comes. It's November. You pull that wishbone out of the turkey, and you look at it, and there's only one thing you're going to wish for. So you make your wish, and then you go make your arrangements for spring training in Arizona. And it all starts all over again. So thank you very much, everybody. Good night. Thank you.
A big round of applause for Karen, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys laughed at her jokes. I thought it was laughing backstage. It was good. She should get a job here on Princess. Do you think she should get a job?
Yeah.
You guys would see her show?
Yeah.
Did you pay to see her show?
Twice as much.
Twice. Oh, wow. Look at that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring back another singer. She's going to be